night, the biggest game is on Fox Primetime Hoops. The Pac-12 and Big East collide as two of the nation's iconic programs square off.
None better than this.
Adembola leads UCLA in an early season statement game as they look to take down Justin Moore at Villanova.
With the pound down.
Saturday at 7 Eastern on Fox.
The biggest games are on Fox Primetime Hoops.
Fresh, warm hot dogs.
When I'm not selling hot dogs, I invest in a fund that advances innovations like robotics.
Fresh, warm hot dogs straight out of my torso. One for you, one for you. Oh, you're a messy one.
Cool, right? So cool.
Anyone can become an agent of innovation with Invesco QQQ, a fund that gives you access to NASDAQ 100 innovations.
Hot dogs. Fresh, warm hot dogs.
Before investing, carefully read and consider fund investment objectives, risk, charges, expenses, and more in prospectus at Invesco.com.
Butler has always stood for excellence in education. But standing for something doesn't mean standing still. It means moving forward with innovative ideas that are transforming how we teach. It means experiential learning and fields that create in-demand graduates. It means cultivating not only minds, but communities. At Butler, we're changing what it means to be a university, one student at a time.
In a stark contrast to the weather, the Dogs have started off December hot, picking up a road win against the Wisconsin Badgers. They return to Circle City to host the one-loss Vanderbilt Commodores team, who's coming off their best start to a season since the 2017 campaign. Tonight, we're slated for another tight matchup under the Hinkle lights this season. Hello, everyone, and welcome to tonight's game between the Butler Bulldogs and the Vanderbilt Commodores. I'm Ben Buttrick, alongside me, my broadcast partner for tonight, Owen O'Keefe. Owen, it's been a great season so far for both of these teams. Butler undefeated at home, a perfect 4-0, and if they won their last 3 games, while this Vanderbilt team has won every game but one, and they lost to one of the best teams in the country, NC State. So when you look at these teams up and down, who are some key players that'll stick out in tonight's matchup?
Starting off with the visiting Vanderbilt, it's divided out number 3, their starting guard, Jordan Cambridge. Coming off a 7-10-5 performance against Louisiana Tech, but she was letting out one of the best players on this college basketball floor. You'll see this entire season, averaging on the season about 14, 8, 5, and 4.5 steals a game is impressive. Going to the other side for the home Dogs, it's Rachel Kent. Coming off a 25-4-2 performance against Wisconsin, also 2 steals and a block. She has been dominant in this season for the Dogs as a grad student.
Both of them have been forces, both of these experienced college basketball players. As you mentioned, Rachel Kent, the grad student, and Jordan Cambridge in her 6th season of basketball in her time in college, so certainly knows her way around the basketball court. Tonight's starting lineups that we're going to be having, introduced right now for Butler. We have quite a few good players being introduced on both sides here this evening. We're going to be having for the Butler Bulldogs, as you see on your screen, Jordan Millmans will be starting in the backcourt along with Ari Wiggins, Rachel Kent, as we mentioned, Caroline Strandy, and Sydney Janes rounding out the starting 5 for your Bulldogs. Then on the Vanderbilt side of things, the starting 5 will be Jordan Cambridge, Jordan Oliver, Justine Pissat, Ayanna Moore, and Sasha Washington. So, Owen, obviously Coach Parkinson has been preaching defense as of late. He knows the offense can get it done. But what do you think the Butler Bulldogs will also have to include in their game plan for tonight to get it done?
The biggest thing, you got to limit those turnovers. Butler, on average, is averaging about 13 turnovers a game, where Vandy is taking the ball away from you with just 13 steals a game. So you got to try and limit those turnovers. Do not let Vanderbilt get in those passing lanes and allow the easy ones off the dribble. If you can limit those turnovers, limit those transition takeaways for the Commodores, you can see yourself having a successful night against a top team in the SEC.
Butler coming off of one of their best games turnover-wise, only turned the ball over 5 times. It was a season low against the Wisconsin Badgers, where they came up big against that Big Ten opponent. They'll look to keep track of the basketball here tonight, as we are just moments away from the tip under the Hinkle Fieldhouse lights. It's going to be Sasha Washington winning it, and we are underway here in the Circle City. Cambridge looking to run the offense here tonight, looking for a few cutters. She'll find more. More dishes to Pissat. A lot of Commodores getting the touch on the first possession. It's going to be their leading scorer, Washington, backing it down. Pissat for 3, and she's off. Good rebound from Janes. Butler Bulldogs defense holding up sturdy on the first possession. Kent will look for Strandy. Few leading scores for Butler getting a touch here, and there's another steal. This Vanderbilt defense relentless early. Kent will come up with it. Back and forth we go. Melman's another tip. Both defenses getting a lot of touches so far. Strandy at the top of the key. She'll find Janes in the high post. 10 on the shot clock as Melmans dribbles to her right. On the wing with Strandy. Shot clock winding down at 4, and this one's going to be blocked. Coming up, Jordan Oliver. Janes has to put it up, and it won't go. Wow, what a great series of defense we saw between both sides there.
Yeah, these first about 1 minute 15 seconds has been scrappy, Ben, on both sides of the ball. Both sides getting intense defense, getting tans on the ball, and then Vanderbilt forcing the shot clock violation. Butler struggling to get a shot up. Vandy knows Jordan Melmans has been hot from 3 this season through 8 games, trying to limit those possessions she can get. Once she gets the ball off her hands, it's pretty money.
Jordan Melmans, as you mentioned, really hot from 3 so far this season. Had 8 threes against St. Thomas not too long ago, and that jumper from Cambridge isn't going to fall. Butler going to maintain possession once more. But you got to be thinking, coaches Shea Ralph and Austin Parkinson, got to love the defense that they've seen from their squad so far.
Oh, 100%. Both of them recently in their tenures at both schools. 2nd season for Parkinson, 3rd for Ralph. Coming over from UConn as an assistant. Both these sides know basketball.
Janes working on Washington with the spin off the glass, just too much. Kent is going to come up with it, but it will be sent the other way. Not able to maintain possession.
I don't dislike that shot that Janes just took there in the post. She got a shot that we know she likes. Just didn't come up with it eventually, and then Kent unsuccessfully grabbed the rebound. But I'm liking what I'm seeing on the Butler offense on both sides, so offense and defense so far.
They've been able to get up 2 shots so far. Both good looks, none have fallen. It'll bode well for the offense if they're able to get these shots up. Another steal here. Sydney Janes gets a touch. Strandy's going to lead the offense. She'll dish to Kent. They're going to work her way inside. Melmans, 1 dribble, catch, and shoot. That one's off. And they'll call foul on Strandy. So going after it was Jordan Cambridge, who came up with the rebound. But Caroline Strandy will pick up her team's first foul of tonight's game.
Again, a great look at the Butler offense. Melmans with a great rip through. She knew the defender was coming to close out on the 3 because that's what they think she wants. Rip through, pulled a nice little 15-footer. Again, didn't fall, but you keep shooting, those shots are going to fall.
Certainly, and this Vanderbilt team has been scouting Melmans, knowing her 3-point field goal percentage. This shot off, and Strandy's going to corral it. Melmans shooting 53.5% from behind the arc so far this season. Ari Wiggins, this one's going to go off the knee. Good defense from Vanderbilt. Shaking things up. As you mentioned, very scrappy play so far. They're just able to get in a few touches on the ball, and it's shaking up Butler's rhythm.
Yeah, we're seeing exactly what we would expect from both these sides. Preaching defense from both the helms of each side. And you're seeing it so far scoreless through about 3 minutes.
So 7 minutes left on the clock here under the Hinkle lights. And Cambridge is going to get it at the top of the key. She'll work inside. Here's Washington. Dishing 2 more. She'll put one up, and it's going to be blocked. Sydney Janes, great defense so far tonight. Steal and a block for her. Here's Strandy. She'll look for Janes. Dishing to the corner. Rachel Kent for 3. This one's just off. Rebound will head the other way. Seems Ari Wiggins got a touch before it went out.
She just came in a little too late to touch the ball out of bounds. Would have been a great way to keep with the Dogs, but one thing that you won't see in the box score in Jane's last possession, when they were coming on the attack, she quickly switched to the other side to stop the fader off that pick and pop.
Jumping into transition, the things that don't show up in the box score but make such a huge impact on the game. Pissat behind the arc, dribbling against Strandy. They'll look inside to Moore. Being patient with the ball, 7 seconds. They're going to feed Washington in the low post. Moore for 3. This one's off. And it will be pushed out. Strandy is going to work it into transition. Both teams over their first 9 combined shots. So they'll take a quick reset here. Strandy's going to drive in. Here's Ari Wiggins. Dishing to last game's leading scorer, Rachel Kent inside to Sydney Janes. Butler finally on the board. They break scoring here tonight.
What a steal from Janes. The Commodores are coming out high on the arc, trying to not allow the perimeter shots that Butler loves to take. And Janes with a great steal to get herself inside position for today's first basket.
Reminiscent of the last game under the Hinkle lights, where Butler, it took both teams, Butler and Bradley, quite some time to find the first basket, but it was Butler who broke scoring last time and then got off to a very hot start in the first quarter. Here's Rachel Kent with the steal. And Ari Wiggins is going to slow the tempo, but Butler building some momentum here. Strandy behind the arc, gives it a look and pass it off. Here's Wiggins, open for three. This one's off the glass. So Vanderbilt going to try to push it into transition. Here's Passat behind the three-point line. They're going to work it inside, and there's the hustle play from Ari Wiggins once more. Averaging 2.1 steals per game this year, and you can see why.
Yeah, the hustle that I've seen from Wiggins, not just in pass lanes, but also on rebounds. Every effort, she's the first Bulldog there on both ends of the floor.
She is currently 9th in steals per game amongst Big East players, and this one's going to be stolen. Jordan Cambridge right there. Ari Wiggins is going to knock her to the hardwood. Cambridge seems to be all right, gets up. Tough basketball being played so far here today, and we're going to take a quick timeout. Butler's going to lead it 2-0. You're watching college basketball on Flow Sports, presented by Butler Sports Live. Head coach Austin Parkinson for the Butler Bulldogs has been preaching a certain brand of basketball all year long, and it's been defense. Certainly going to be happy after forcing Vanderbilt to shoot 0 of their first 5 from the field. Going to be happy after this start. Butler currently leading at 2-0. I'm Ben Buttrick alongside me, Owen O'Keefe. And Owen, we've seen a lot of competitive basketball so far here in the first quarter.
Yeah, the biggest thing is Butler has forced four turnovers tonight from the Commodores, all on steals. The only problem is, and also they've not allowed a field goal. So the defense through first 5 minutes has been great. Can you keep it up for the next 35?
Defensive shifts have looked good. Jordan Cambridge off the front iron, rebounded by Janes. Defense holding steady, and Ari Wiggins is going to push the tempo. Dishing to Kent in the corner. Janes swinging it around are the Bulldogs. They're going to double Strandy, leaving Kent open in the corner, and this one's off. Fast-paced basketball out of the timeout. Vanderbilt looking to find themselves on the scoreboard. Who will get the first bucket for Vandy? Cambridge driving in, looking to take it herself, and it's off. She'll get her own miss. This one also off. Third time, not the charm, and Butler locks down. They keep it alive. Vanderbilt has not scored yet. Kent to Melmans in the corner. Off the back of the rim. but the hustle play from Ari Wiggins, and she's going to come up with the basketball. Foul from behind. The foul is going to be on Madison Green, who just checked into the game for Vanderbilt. Another substitution coming in, and this one's going to be Camille Pierre. A lot of fast-paced basketball that we've seen over the past minute.
Yeah, so Coach Ralph for the Commodores has made 2 substitutions so far, not one yet from Parkinson.
And here's Passat. Great defensive play to disrupt the pass, and this one's also off. Checking in, not making the play is Pierre. So Vanderbilt still not able to get their first bucket. 0 of their first 11 so far. They're going to try to reset the tempo of this game, take things slowly, and this one's going to go Vanderbilt's way, just as Caroline Strandy almost disrupted the pass.
Yeah, she has been everyone on this Butler defense has been all over the ball. Parkinson, if you didn't see that, has been sort of frustrated with the fact that they've been playing almost volleyball with rebounding efforts on both ends of the floor, especially James there just sort of slapped instead of squeezing it.
Physical brand of basketball so far. Another miss, a block from Rachel Kent, and a bucket finally will fall for Vanderbilt. It's going to be Camille Pierre coming off the bench to get the first points of the night for Vandy. The pass from Ari Wiggins. They're double teaming whenever they get the opportunity. Strandy's open in the corner. She's going to dish to Ari Wiggins, top of the key. Got it! First three-pointer of the night for either side. It's going to come from Butler's number 3, Ari Wiggins. So Butler's going to lead at 5-2. It ends a scoring drought that they had of just over 2 minutes and 50 seconds. We're finally seeing some buckets here in Indianapolis. Top of the key. Nice spin there. Dish to Pierre. She has herself 4 points. But what a pass from Madison Green.
Yeah, Green coming both sides, or both substitutions for Vanderbilt so far, coming off the bench and making valiant efforts to get this offense going.
The fresh legs have provided a spark plug so far. There's no starters for this Vanderbilt team have a point yet, with Butler having only starters scoring. Substitution for Butler awaiting on the sidelines. And Lily Stoddard, they're going to call Ari Wiggins for a travel. Didn't set her feet when she caught the ball, and Lily Stoddard is going to be checking in for Sydney Janes. So Austin Parkinson will look to the bench for the first time here tonight.
Yeah, he's not been too thrilled with James' rebounding efforts so far, so might as well grab someone with some fresh legs, try and close out these last 90 seconds or so.
So just over a minute and a half here to play. Taking it in is Pierre, and just off the rim. Certainly the hot hand for Vanderbilt so far. She's playing very physically, forces the turnover off Lily Stoddard. Sasha Washington inside and gets the bucket. So Vanderbilt with their first lead of the game. They now take this one 6-5. Physical basketball here in the first quarter. Both teams want it more than the other right now, it seems.
Yeah, Stoddard, the Purdue transfer for the Dogs, had a great come down with rebound. They tried to get the ball away too quickly, which is what led to a turnover.
And another travel for Ari Wiggins, her second one in the past 2 possessions. And Wiggins and Melmans will be substituted out of the game. Carson Norman and Riley Makaleski checking in for the Bulldogs. So fresh legs now on the court for them.
Yeah, 2 first years for the Dogs come in, face their third Power 5 opponent of the season. Parkinson wants to see something out of these young guys and gals.
So a lot of good competition the Butler Bulldogs have been facing this year. And as we haven't had the chance to mention yet, Austin Parkinson, second year with the team, but he has really just turned this program around, going from a 1-win team to an 11-win team last year when they had 4 wins in a row in conference play as well. So Coach Parkinson has been able to bring a physical brand of basketball and an offense that has certainly worked very well here throughout the course of his first season and the second season as well, as the Dogs are off to a 6-2 start.
That was a good look there for Pierre, just a little too strong off the glass. Good set out of the timeout, or out of the inbounds play, excuse me, from Shea Ralph.
25 seconds left to go here in the first quarter, and they're going to call a foul on Jordan Cambridge. Reached in just a little bit too much on Carson Norman. And that'll be the first foul on Cambridge here tonight. Certainly don't want to get her in foul trouble, with her being your floor general. Caroline Strandy handling the ball. 20 seconds left on the clock, 15 on the shot clock. Looks like Butler will want to make this one the last possession of the quarter. Can take the lead with this one. They're able to find the bucket. Carter with the screen. Strandy driving in, and she will get her first bucket of the game. A good drive from Caroline Strandy, and that will do it for the first quarter. The Butler Bulldogs take a late 7-6 lead after a very physical, hustle first quarter from both sides. We're going to take a quick break, but we will be right back for some more college basketball on Flow Sports, presented by Butler Sports Live. Ten minutes have passed here at Hinkle Fieldhouse. A low-scoring matchup so far, but Butler leads it out of the first quarter, 7-6. Very physical basketball so far, Owen. Both of these teams have gotten after it on the offensive and defensive end, but a lot of missed shots so far will lead to the low scoring. What did you see throughout this first quarter?
So far, before we took our first break, the turnovers are tied at 4-4, Butler with 4 steals. Vanderbilt is now up to 4 steals and 8 forced turnovers. Alongside that, Butler has allowed 6 offensive rebounds, just the 2 of their own. So you got to box out and limit turnovers. Because you're already at 8. You're on pace to have 24 turnovers, 32 turnovers, and 28 points. That's not a very good ratio if you ask me.
Absolutely not. You certainly have that one right. As we are back underway here at Hinkle, a few substitutions on both sides here. There's another substitutions in for Vanderbilt. They're going to get called for the foul here. This one's going to be on Pierre, and that's going to send perhaps Butler's best free throw shooter, Caroline Strandy, to the free throw line. At the end of the last game, it was a very tight game against the Wisconsin Badgers where the Butler Bulldogs won 59-51. Strandy hit 6 free throws in a row to ice the game.
Exactly. She hit her career 100th free throw in that game as well. Alongside that, her almost 83% from the line this season puts her 8th in the Big East amongst all shooters.
She certainly shot the rock well so far, and there's her first 2 points of this quarter. Ended the quarter with a driving layup, so she's up to 4 on the night. Leading scorer for the Dogs. Jordan Cambridge has checked out of the game for Vanderbilt, and checking in for the Commodores, and taking the shot will be off from Aga Makura, as Carson Norman is going to grab this one and drive it in. And they will call a foul on the defensive shift there. It's going to be on Ayanna Moore, team second of the quarter. So early foul trouble here for Vanderbilt. Fouls on the first 2 possessions for them.
Yeah, just the first 4 more, but Butler doing a great job of attacking and getting a little more physical with the ball in their hands. Risky pass there.
Pass pays off for Makaleski. Get it on the wing, and Carson Norman will reset the offense. Strandy working on Oliver. Green will pick her up on defense. Shot clock at 2 and tipped out of bounds by Pierre. Vanderbilt's defense certainly got into that one there. Might have thought Strandy either walked with it, double dribble, anything there. They were all yelling, but we play on.
And they got to get a quick shot off, probably a quick catch to do almost a tip up. See where they look. From Oliver, she saw Strandy coming, knew she was going up, got just outside the restricted arc, set herself, and now that second foul on Strandy sends her to the bench alongside Makaluski. Melmans, Wingler, and Janes all on the floor. Kent and Norman remain.
So Kendall Wingler checking in for the first time here tonight. Milestone watch for her. She's 1 assist away from number 100 all time. So we'll see if she's able to get to that one in this one. Working in the low post, but not able to make it fall there is Green. Butler's going to work their way in transition. Norman pushing the tempo. She'll be double teamed. Wingler with her first touch of the night. They'll reset the offense. Barking orders is Parkinson. Shot clock at 10 as Rachel Kent catches it on the wing, working it in towards Janes. This one will be tipped out by Camille Pierre, who has certainly had her name talked about so many times so far. Not only 6 points, but 5 offensive rebounds to go along with that.
Yeah, she has been unbelievable coming off the bench for the Commodores. That ball's going to stay here. But yeah, she has been a force to be reckoned with off the bench. She saw what happened to her starting center when Jane sealed her on that outside shot on the inside post, and then once again, she saw it coming and was able to stop it.
She's been a difference maker. Green's going to jump this pass, not able to jump it there, and Vanderbilt will work in transition. It's Ayanna Moore driving in. No call, but it will stay on Vanderbilt's side of the court. Ayanna Moore drove in there, tried to take it coast to coast, and Vanderbilt having under the basket play, only trailing by 1. So Jordan Cambridge back in the game as well. She'll find Ayanna Moore. She puts up a floater, and it's off the front of the rim. Getting her own miss is Moore. And Green will reset the offense. Offensive rebounding has been key so far for Vanderbilt. They grabbed their 9th one just a moment ago. Moore working inside. Nice layup off the glass from Ayanna Moore, and Vanderbilt reclaims the lead.
Yeah, you play a great defensive possession there. You first stop the fast break, then Moore misses her first layup. This goes the other way now.
Relentless here is the Vanderbilt defense. Madison Green, and it's going to be off her foot. Great defensive play from Carson Norman. And defense remains the theme here at Hinkle Fieldhouse. Both sides fighting and forcing turnovers so far.
Yeah, but you cannot let Moore get that rebound, especially because she was a shooter. That's rule number 1 when you're playing defense. You got to box out the shooter once that shot is up. So to give that up, I'm sure Parkinson was not happy. You saw him send Strandy to the table and immediately called her right back. If she has 2 fouls, you cannot be too aggressive with her. You probably need her on the floor in the late 3rd and 4th quarter.
Certainly going to need your difference makers late in this game. 2 very talented programs. And this game certainly looks like it could go either way. Kendall Wingler drives in, and she's going to walk. Not able to find Melmans before a travel violation is called. So Vanderbilt going to have possession with the lead for one of the first times here tonight. A few lead changes. But Owen, you just got to think, a few too many turnovers for the Dogs right now. 5 turnovers in their last 3.5 minutes of play.
Yeah, 13 turnovers through 14 minutes of play is not where you want to be. Especially as now Vandy's offense seems to wake up a little bit. They're getting more chippy on the offensive end, really going at you as opposed to trying to settle.
They've elected to go with a lot of double teams on defense as well. They're switching up their offensive looks. They're seeming to get more and more comfortable, showing why they are the 8-1 program that they are. Ayanna Moore from behind the arc. This one won't find the rim, and Sydney Janes will grab the rebound. There's going to be a foul on the floor as well. This one's going to go against Justine Passat. Her first of the game, team's 3rd of the quarter. So Ari Wiggins checking back in as well. So Butler's starters on the floor, apart from Riley Makaluski in the game, for Caroline Strandy, who's in foul trouble herself right now.
And the one thing the Dogs have going for them is that Vandy has not shot the ball well from beyond the arc. So those start to fall. This is a much different ball game you are seeing.
Both teams struggling a bit from behind the arc. Vandy 0 for 5 as Wiggins will be trapped here on the wing. She maintains possession and leaving Makaleski open from three. She's not able to hit it, and Rachel Kent not able to grab the offensive board. So Vanderbilt remaining relentless once more.
Yeah, you got to knock those down if you're Makaleski, and then you're also on that opposite side shooter.
And Cambridge finding the cutter in Jordan Oliver there, and this one, after a few bounces off the rim, will find its way in the bucket. Vanderbilt with a 3-point lead.
The Dogs' offense has gone silent.
Another trap here on the sidelines, and this is going to force a turnover. Jordan Oliver with the steal. Vanderbilt's defense is relentless right now, and another steal. This one's going the other way. Both sides not able to hang on to the basketball right now.
Yeah, it's a very sloppy back and forth game we're witnessing in front of our eyes. The Dogs have got to start trying to match what Vanderbilt's putting out, whether it's intensity or just offensive scoring, because they have gone cold this quarter.
5 minutes without a bucket for Butler. Rachel Kent gonna find Sydney Janes. This one off right before the shot clock, and it won't find the rim. So Sydney Janes, and this one is going to lead us to a timeout on the floor. A very physical second quarter that we've seen here so far. Certainly going to see a little bit more of that when we return here on Flow Sports, presented by Butler Sports Live.
The Pac-12 and Big East collide as two of the nation's iconic programs square off.
None better than this.
A Dimbola leads UCLA in an early season statement game as they look to take down Justin Moore at Villanova.
With the pound down.
Saturday at 7 Eastern on Fox.
The biggest games are on Fox. Prime time hoops.
Fresh, warm hot dogs.
When I'm not selling hot dogs, I invest in a fund that advances innovations like robotics.
Fresh, warm hot dogs straight out of my torso. One for you, one for you. Oh, you're a messy one.
Cool, right? So cool.
Anyone can become an agent of innovation with Invesco QQQ, a fund that gives you access to NASDAQ 100 innovations.
Hot dogs. Fresh farm hot dogs.
Before investing, carefully read and consider fund investment objectives, risk, charges, expenses, and more in prospectus at Invesco.com.
Butler has always stood for excellence in education. But standing for something doesn't mean standing still. It means moving forward with innovative ideas that are transforming how we teach. It means experiential learning and fields that create in-demand graduates. It means cultivating not only minds, but communities. At Butler, we're changing what it means to be a university, one student at a time.
After Butler built up a very early lead here, it's been Vanderbilt as of late. 6-0 scoring run over the last 4 minutes, and they've really dominated the offensive glass.
Yeah, Vanderbilt now leading the glass 10-2. Butler has not been able to box out or successfully just get that loose ball after a missed shot by the Commodores. Again, that's many things that needs to change alongside that turnover battle they've been fighting this whole time. Other than that, Butler has not made a field goal since Strandy's layup at the end of the first quarter, 3 seconds left.
And an and one by Jordan Cambridge right out of the timeout. One of the first driving layups that we've seen on either side. You mentioned Strandy's at the end of the first quarter, but what a layup there from Jordan Cambridge, finishing through contact.
She gets her first field goal after 5 missed shots. Now she's at the line to try and knock in her third and extend this lead to 5 for Vandy, making a 9-0 run, and she does. Other thing, Ben, is just how Butler has not been able to score since Strandy's free throws this quarter, let alone the made field goal at the end of the first. And this trap, almost running a 1-3-1 or a 1-2-2 style defense from Vandy, has been a struggle for the Dogs, not being able to rip through or get the ball rotating around the top of the arc quickly. You can find that hole. You got to maybe put someone at the elbow and also leave someone on the opposite wing to try and beat this defense.
this zone that Vanderbilt has moved into in transition, but then they played very good man defense as well so far, but just giving Butler so many different looks, they haven't really let them be comfortable on the court so far. Butler getting thrown so many different things on defense that it's tough to even be able to bring the ball up comfortably, and Vanderbilt has done just such a good job of changing that up. It's an 8-1 program for a reason. But Butler still fighting. 6-2 is their season so far. They've been able to play very good defense of their own as well. Both teams shooting just 25%. You can't have that without a lot of disruptions on both ends. So under the basket, Cambridge will feed Washington. She'll throw this one up, and it's off the glass. Grabbing the miss is Cambridge. Another offensive rebound for the Commodores. Cambridge, the floor general for Vandy. Driving in and dishing to Green, not able to make the grab, and this one's going to go into the front row. Butler basketball.
Yeah, great pressure there from the Dogs. See, sometimes after a make or after sometimes a stop like this, you're going to see them set up something that's almost like a 1-2-2 almost, where they'll set up and putting the pressure, so once they swing the ball to the wing, you have that trap right away, and also you can rotate up to the person to try and rotate it back, where the Dogs have struggled. Now they're bringing some full court pressure on Wiggins.
Yeah, head coach Shea Ralph has really preached this defensive brand of basketball just as well as Austin Parkinson, and Vanderbilt's defense prevailing here in the second quarter. Feeding Cindy Janes inside is Rachel Kent. She'll go to work, and with the spin, Cindy Janes gets it to go. Good move there in the low post.
Finally able to find a field goal through almost 6 minutes of this quarter.
And this one's going to be a foul. Sasha Washington will head to the line. But as you mentioned, first field goal of the quarter for Butler. Only 2 other points came off free throws from Strandy. And largely this has been due to the 8 turnovers that Butler's had in their last 7 minutes of play.
They are extremely lucky that Vandy has also sort of struggled on the offensive end. Because if you go basically 6 minutes scoreless with that many turnovers against most of these teams you're going to face, especially once you get a conference play opening up with UConn on December 18th in Connecticut, that's going to be an ugly day for Austin Parkinson's squad. So this is a game where you got to hone those out through the rest of this quarter and through the second half, trying to iron out those wrinkles to figure out how you're going to start opening up conference play.
These two certainly have to be some confidence builders for the Dogs. As much as you want to win this game against Vanderbilt, as long as you can take some confidence and some key points out of this game, it could be considered a win going up against the very highly touted UConn Husky women's basketball program. Another turnover here for Butler, and Jordan Cambridge will feed in transition, but another deflection from Cindy Janes, not able to get the steal, and Vanderbilt will reset. Cambridge driving in, and she'll pull up from a long 2, not able to fall. Rachel Kent going to drive it up for Butler. So back and forth we go. Vanderbilt with a 5-point lead. Jordan Melmans will swing to Ari Wiggins. Another 3 from her, and this one's off the back of the iron. In transition are the Commodores. Madison Green, a tough layup, and she gets it to go through 2 Bulldog defenders.
She saw Janes coming up, ripped it through, and was able to get it up and under through the defense. That's a great take from the freshman off the bench.
Almost, you wouldn't even be able to tell that she's just a freshman. A very experienced take. Seems like she's done it time and time again. Playing very well so far. Oliver going to swing to Green, and she's going to go right back to work from mid-range. This one just off, and Butler will head the other way. 1 minute to play here at Hinkle Fieldhouse in the first half.
Parkinson telling him to slow it down a bit. Keeping Janes at the top as you want to try and see where you can work against this tight, tough Vandy defense.
You're going to want a good look here. They get one from Janes, and it's going to be going the other way. Sydney Janes with the offensive foul. Certainly don't want to get her in foul trouble as well.
You see Parkinson again had Strandy at the table, especially now in this last 40 seconds of basketball where no matter what level you're playing at, things will get chippy, squeaky fouls will come up. So you got to be careful. Keeping her on the bench is smart. Keep those 2 fouls in the bench and go for the second half.
Butler with a little bit of foul trouble, as we've mentioned. Few players in foul trouble for Vanderbilt. They're going to want to be in the second half with the game being this close, but Ayanna Moore extending this lead for Vanderbilt. It's grown to 9 now. Only 4 points this quarter for Butler. 19 seconds left to change that. Carson Norman driving to her right. 10 seconds left on the game clock. Carter will come up, set the screen. Norman dishing to the corner. Rachel Kent 4-3. This one's off the iron. 2 seconds left, and Vanderbilt is going to let this one go to halftime. Wow, what a first half that we saw, Owen. It was Butler in the first quarter, and Vanderbilt has surged into the lead here. What are some of your thoughts that you've really seen throughout this first half?
Well, if you go on pace just based on per numbers through 20 minutes, this game's then 40-22. And in my opinion, that is the lowest scoring both sides will have this season. As the defense has been good for Butler, you cannot complain about holding Vanderbilt to 20 points in the first half. As low as they have been held to this season is about 60. So that's good. What you got going good for you. On the other end, you have turned the ball over 18 times and given up 11 offense rebounds. You cannot do that. You also cannot be shut out 14-4 through 10 minutes. So that's what you need to look forward to in Parkinson. You've got 20 more minutes. You're down to just 9 to a strong Power 5 team in Vanderbilt. This we got to do, go do it.
Absolutely. Both of these offenses looking quite different than normal. The defense is prevailing here, but we'll be back with some more great basketball under the Hinkle Fieldhouse lights on Flow Sports, presented by Butler Sports Live. 20 minutes down here at Hinkle Fieldhouse. The Butler Bulldogs and Vanderbilt Commodores going back and forth. Butler took care of business in the first quarter, but it's been Vanderbilt as of late. They've gotten out to a 9-point lead and are just 20 minutes away from becoming 9-1 on the season and handing Butler their first loss at home. I'm Ben Buttrick, alongside me, Owen O'Keefe, for tonight's broadcast. Owen, it has been a very physical game. We've seen that from the turnover numbers, the offensive rebound numbers. What's something that Butler's going to have to change here going forward, and what's something that Vanderbilt's going to have to continue doing and utilizing?
So one thing Vandy's doing very well of, after a basket, after a made shot, or after a turnover or an out-of-bounds play on this end, when Butler's bringing it back to the other side, they're doing a great job of setting up that trap and forcing the trap in the corner right on this Hancock Health logo on the right-hand side. So when you're coming back in that, Vandy can keep that trap up and force it over. They already forced 18 on Butler's end and acquired 8 steals. So Butler needs to not fall into that trap, look for another way to get the ball across half court and set up an offense without going right to that corner of the wing first.
Moments away from getting back underway here at Hinkle. As you mentioned, turnover numbers have been huge in this game so far. Vanderbilt has been able to force many more than Butler has turned it over. And that one is up and in. Starting off scoring here is Jordan Oliver. So Vanderbilt first team on the board. They have doubled Butler's scoring totals so far. 22-11. Melmans for 3. She got it. Butler's going to need to see a lot more out of her this second half if they want a chance to get back into this one.
Butler shot just 1 for 10 from beyond the arc in the first half, with the lone 3-point shot coming from Ari Wiggins. So if you're getting Melmans a make on the very first field goal of the half is huge. Alongside that, Vandy has scored all 20 of their points that are field goals inside the paint, with 2 points coming off free throws. It's a great steal from Wiggins.
Wiggins in transition off the steal, dishing to Janes in the low post. She's gonna miss, and this one will stay on Butler's end of the court. Another scrappy play from Ari Wiggins to even force the turnover there.
Looks like Pisat is a little shaken up here. Coming off the bench will be Green. But I think Wiggins there, she had Janes wide open from the get-go off the break. She was looking to that left side corner, the close side to her first, to try and get something beyond the arc when she had Janes sitting under the basket the whole time. Went too strong. Luckily, the ball went out of bounds. We'll stay with the Dogs. They've got a fresh 20 to work with.
So a missed opportunity, but all hope isn't lost yet for this possession. Inbounding is Wiggins. She'll find Janes. Dishing to Kent beyond the arc. Wiggins swinging to Melmans. Here's another 3 from her. This one's off the back iron, but rebounding is Strandy, but her second opportunity won't go. Ayanna Moore shifting the tempo. Another steal from Ari Wiggins. Nothing but space for Caroline Strandy. In the way is Cambridge, stripping the ball. What a defensive effort from her, keeping Butler off the scoreboard.
Yeah, Strandy's got to go up above her head with that sooner, as Cambridge is looking just to rip it away, which we know she does. She averages about 4.5 steals a game. So especially going to someone like that who is so quick to get her hands on the ball, you got to keep it as far away from her as you can.
And the next steal from Cambridge will be her 4th on the night, 3 so far this evening. And Vanderbilt off the miss will slow things down and reset the offense.
Would have preferred James there to go to her inside or go to her right shoulder as opposed to turning away from the basket. You got to go up strong, especially against a team like this.
And Cambridge works inside and gets the layup to fall. Her 5th point of the night. Butler starting off slow this quarter as well. 0 for their first 4 from the field. Look to change that on this possession. Trap coming towards Wiggins. Butler able to work out of it, swing it to Strandy, and she knocks it down. Her first 3 of the night as Caroline Strandy continues to lead Butler in scoring.
They got it now 2-7. They've already scored as many points in this quarter that they scored in the entirety of, or more, they scored more points already in this quarter than they scored in the second.
Impressive start. Coach Austin Parkinson certainly going to be happy with that. Going to want to continue to lock down on defense. Here's Ayanna Moore off the jumper. Few touches off the rim. It's not going to go, but second effort from Jordan Oliver will fall. That is her second bucket here this quarter.
Another effort on the boards that Parkinson's not happy with Wiggins on, as Norman is already at the table.
So Wiggins being trapped. Washington and Cambridge got to her, and they will call jump ball. It'll stay on Butler's end of the court, and Carson Norman will check in for Ari Wiggins. So it won't be awarded as a turnover on the jump ball, but Butler coming off one of their games against Wisconsin where they had their lowest turnover total of the season. And just to see so many more turnovers in this game, discouraging, but still a lot of time to work back into this game. And jumpers like that from Caroline Strandy will certainly help. She has 9 on the night.
Yeah, great move there from Strandy. Coming around the wing, take one dribble in, pull it back a little bit, knocking a nice 15-footer from the elbow. We know she can do that. She knows she can do that. She's played the game a long time. But she's got to find those shots, get in that rhythm that she can find.
Sasha Washington in the low post, leading scorer for Vanderbilt, and she has a chance to add on one more. Sasha Washington and one effort makes her second basket of the night.
Yeah, I didn't like what Jane did right there. She was completely beat, had no reason to try and stop Washington. She had no play on the ball and sort of reached in, grabbed her on the thigh, and gave her one free one.
And the free throw will be off, rebounded by Cambridge. Another opportunity for Vanderbilt. They have dominated on the offensive glass here tonight. 13-4 is the deficit for Butler in that category. Shot clock at 6. Washington working in the low post once more. This one's off. One-handed rebound by Ayanna Moore to keep it alive. Another offensive board for Vandy. This one's off the glass and it won't go. But Owen, how about these second chance efforts for Vanderbilt? It's been the difference so far here tonight.
It's just the inability to box out after a shot. Especially it's the shooter a lot of times that are getting their own rebound. As now Cambridge's 4th offensive rebound ties her with Butler's team total on that statistic category. As here comes 2 for Ayanna Moore.
She'll miss the first one, so Vanderbilt struggling from the free throw line here tonight. 2 for 5 to start things off. Moore will get one more opportunity, but certainly want to knock down all these chances that you've been given. And with a little bit of help from the rim, she'll get the second one to fall. So Vanderbilt's 3rd free throw as a team on the night, and Ayanna Moore is going to move to 4 total points.
Yeah, so your inability to get a rebound after the first set of free throws led to one more point being scored. Strandy picking up her 3rd foul, as now your key scorer and the one person that seemed like a great spark in light of this offense is now back on the bench playing conservative.
So certainly going to be tough for Butler to now try to navigate this game with a limited amount of opportunities for Caroline Strandy. Carson Norman dishing to Janes in the post, and Sasha Washington's going to get called for the reach there. Those two have been battling in the low post this quarter.
Yeah, both have been very, very chippy through 24 minutes. I would like to see Norman almost try and go up with that shot. I know she's a smaller guard at this level, but nonetheless, if you can try and go up strong, especially when you have a wide open lane like that, it's not going to hurt just getting the shot up.
They get it off before the 5 seconds is called to Jordan Melmans. Now Rachel Kent with it in the corner. Vanderbilt almost tries to trap, but this will leave Makaleski open. She'll drive, and with a Euro step, it's off. Sydney Janes corrals, and it's off the back of the backboard. Vanderbilt going to shift things up. They see some open players in the corner. Sasha Washington working inside. No second chance effort for Vanderbilt this time. Rachel Kent pushing the pace. She'll slow things down now. Back and forth, these few possessions go. Carson Norman off the glass. You just mentioned, Owen, what if the Dogs can get things going from her?
Perfect. She gave a ball fake towards her teammate on the low block on the opposite end, and is able to completely shift the defense with wide open floater as they get completely beat on that back door from Cambridge. The Dogs are playing very uptight. So when you do that, you cannot allow yourself to let someone slip behind you, which they've done at least 3 times tonight.
That's just where your experience comes into play, as Cambridge has played so much college basketball, 6 seasons. 3-pointer off from Jordan Melmans. It's going to stay on the Dogs' end of the court. Just to finish up about Cambridge, what an experienced basketball player. She's really coming into her role here tonight, as she's very much filling the stat sheet. But we're going to take a quick break here at Hinkle Fieldhouse. You're watching college basketball on Flow Sports, presented by Butler Sports Live.
At Team Impact, we pair kids who have been sidelined by serious illness and disability with college teams from across the country. It's more than a single-day meet and greet or photo opportunity. Our program places kids on a multi-year journey, becoming true members of a collegiate athletics team.
1, 2, 3,
From signing day
we'll put this right here.
to game day.
I can't describe it. It feels amazing.
Team impact. All in, all together.
In the world of athletes, where every move counts, setbacks can feel like a mountain to climb. At Rothman Orthopedics, our team of top-notch orthopedic experts are here to get you back to doing what you love, because we specialize in you. We're not just about recovery, we're about rewriting your story. With specialized physicians and unwavering support, we help you rise above adversity. Rothman Orthopedics, the official orthopedic provider of athletes.
Saturday night, the biggest game is on Fox Primetime Hoops. The Pac-12 and Big East collide as two of the nation's iconic programs square off.
None better than this.
Adembona leads UCLA in an early season statement game as they look to take down Justin Moore at Villanova.
With the pound down.
Saturday at 7 Eastern on Fox.
The biggest games are on Fox Primetime Hoops.
The Dog Pound excited to be here tonight as it's Greek night here for this Butler women's basketball game. A lot of sororities and fraternities, all chapters, coming out to this game today. Special shout out to Lambda Chi Alpha's president, Aaron Niger. Almost made a putt all the way across the Hinkle hardwood. Almost, maybe missed it by 2 inches. It was such a close putt, and you see it all the time on TV. Those putts are so exciting when they actually go in.
Yeah, no, it was a great putt from Aaron. He missed it by about 2 inches, just left on a 75-foot putt. And there's a lot of rewards handed out for great stewardship and community involvement to all chapters on this campus, as it really is an important part of student life here at Butler.
It's what Greek life is all about here on Butler's campus. But back to the game, Vanderbilt has assumed a 10-point advantage here over Butler midway through this third quarter. Certainly we've talked a lot about the offensive rebounding from Vanderbilt and just the opportunities that they've been able to get off of the turnovers that they've forced, but they've been shooting much more efficiently from the field as of late as well. Now shooting 34% on the night after they started 0 of their first 11.
Yeah, Butler's already has picked up 2 more steals, first 2 more turnovers, and through so far in this third quarter, they have not given up or have not allowed a turnover by themselves. So that is very good on the offensive end as we're resuming play, Ben.
A very good change that Butler really wanted to make, as their last game they only turned the ball over 5 times, a season low. What a pump fake there from Jordan Melmans, catching the defender in the air. Melmans has herself her first basket from inside the arc tonight.
These dogs need to realize you throw the Commodores a ball fake, whether it's on a pass or even on a shot fake. So a great shot there from number 13 for Vanderbilt. Like I was saying, if you throw them a ball fake, they're going to move. If you throw a pump fake, they're going to jump.
Melmans for 3 from beyond the arc. Bringing this one within 7 points is Jordan Melmans, back-to-back buckets from her. And this one will be called an offensive foul. They call the charge there. Rachel Kent able to draw it. This one on Madison Green. As you mentioned, Owen, just one pump fake can really get these Vanderbilt defenders, as they've been jumping on a lot of passes. They've been trying to trap on a lot of opportunities. So it's looked good for Butler. Just incorporating a few more fakes, a few more extra looks. Now they're right back in this game. Cindy Janes near the top of the key. Here's Rachel Kent for 3. Off the front of the rim. And Vanderbilt's going to push the tempo. Ayanna Moore on the wing. Here's Madison Green for 3. This one also off. Hustling after it is Melmans, not able to come up with it. It's Cambridge. Floor general will reset the offense. In the corner, Ayanna Moore. And a Euro step through traffic, not able to finish it, but what a move there. And Butler, another defensive stop as they head towards their half of the court. Here's Melmans. Tried to be trapped, able to break out of it. Makaleski towards James. Working on Sasha Washington with the kick and the fade, not able to make it fall. Cambridge is going to rebound. Vanderbilt working quickly in transition. Massing Green will hold up play. So the freshman taking care of business here, finding Washington to Moore, gives it a quick look. Will hold off. Same from Cambridge. Few hesitations here from Vanderbilt. When will they put up the shot? 5 seconds left to do so. 3 as the clock is winding down. Spin move from Green, but it's off the rim and off of, they're going to call it off of Pierre. Riley Makaleski in there was able to force the turnover for Vanderbilt. What a stretch of play there.
Yeah, that was great defensive possession from Butler. You got it within 7, also they've been scoring. Especially with Strandy on the floor, you need Melmans to get hot alongside the other dogs to try and keep the offense going. Stoddard and Passat checking into the Bulldogs and Commodores respectively.
So a few substitutions, fresh legs. Still have different matchups on the floor respectively. They're going to call foul there on Jordan Cambridge. Certainly not the name that Coach Ralph will want to have called over the loudspeakers, being called for a foul.
She picked up her second there, not that big of a deal. You get the fresh 20 for Butler. Now you might see a little less aggression, especially from her.
And this one will be another turnover for Butler. Cambridge working in transition. Few pivots, more. Passat from 3, it's off. Norman will push the pace. She's going to give all her options a look. Settling with Makaleski. Austin Parkinson calling out a play. We'll see what the Bulldogs go to. Carson Norman for 3. Got it! Norman with another 3, and Butler back within 4.
Ralph's going to call to her bench. Jordan Oliver has been a key piece of this Vanderbilt offense and defense, both sides. She's coming back in. Alongside that, Butler has been extremely lucky that Vanderbilt is 0 for 7 from 3, and the Dogs have gotten hot from beyond the arc this quarter.
They've gotten hot at the right time. This third quarter, Butler's look much more comfortable. Rebound, Lily Stoddard, and Butler will head back towards trying to make it a one-possession game. Norman into the corner. Here's Lily Stoddard, top of the key. Fans getting on their feet slowly here at Hinkle. Carson Norman for 3. It's off. A rebound from Pierre. So Butler's momentum stifled just a little bit by that missed shot. But within 4 points, anything can happen.
This possession is huge. If you can stop Vanderbilt here, especially Cambridge, she's probably going to look to go dribble drive right here. Exactly what she does. Draws the foul.
And Melmans will be called for that foul there. Not in foul trouble. But Coach Parkinson realizing this is the time to strike. Who is he going to bring into the game? Caroline Strandy. Certainly wants to make the most of what he can right now as Rachel Kent will head to the bench.
I think it's the first time Kent's been actually checked out this whole time. The only time she's gotten rests in between quarters and halves, and then actually timeouts, obviously. It's the first real time she's not going to have minutes tracked and minutes are being taken off the game.
Coach Parkinson obviously knows Rachel Kent very well. The IUPUI transfer just ahead of this season. Kent and Anna Mortag, 2 IUPUI teammates here at Butler now. So he certainly knows the style of play that Rachel Kent is capable of. She has hustled on defense all night long. First free throw from Cambridge, good. She'll get the second one to fall. Very productive trip to the line for Vanderbilt.
Picking up the freshman about 94 feet. Got a junior guarding her.
And she had to pick up her dribble there. Clean steal from Cambridge. And Norman will try to drive in. This one's going to end up in Vanderbilt's hands. 15 seconds remain in the quarter. Time for one more bucket for Vanderbilt if they're able to knock it down. 6 seconds. Cambridge working from the wing. Not able to make it fall. Washington will be fouled. So Sasha Washington will head to the free throw line to end off the third quarter here. This foul is going to be on Lily Stoddard.
It's just another thing. You don't box out, and when you forget to box out, you're allowing second chance points and even third chance opportunities so many times. They called the foul on the floor, so lucky you're not giving Washington 2 free opportunities to add a point on the board. You got to try and lock down for the last 0.5.
Half a second, Passat puts it up, and it's no good. You mentioned the second chance opportunities, Owen. 17-6 Vanderbilt on the offensive glass so far, but Butler, very productive third quarter. They are now within 6 points. We're slated for an exciting fourth quarter basketball from Hinkle Fieldhouse. You're watching college basketball on Flo Sports, presented by Butler Sports Live. "30 minutes of basketball have passed here at Hinkle. It has the fans on their feet, maybe even doing a little dance in between quarters. It's been a very exciting game here tonight. Vanderbilt currently leads at 35-29. What a game it has been, Owen. Back and forth. Butler has worked their way now down just 6 here, entering the fourth.
Yeah, that was a great third quarter. You actually outscored them 18-15. Got yourself, like you said, within 6. And now it's going to come down to how can you play defense down the stretch, and how do you plan to attack and put yourself ahead?
They attack with Cambridge on the inside. Ayanna Moore going to launch up a 3. It is no good, but another offensive rebound for Vanderbilt. Make it 18 on the night for them. These second chance opportunities have been huge for the Commodores. Shot clock at 8. Working her way inside and able to make it fall there. What a basket on the inside from Makara.
Yeah, Makara knows that Strandy has 3 fouls. She had Strandy on her. She knows Strandy's not going to play tight defense. She's able to get enough space to get a shot up, especially because she has the height advantage in that matchup as well.
Caroline Strandy has been on the bench a lot because of foul trouble, but has been very effective for Butler when in the game. It's Norman, Strandy, Makaleski, Kent, and Janes on the floor for Butler. And with the crossover, Strandy working inside, fading away, almost getting that highlight play to fall. So Cambridge bringing it up for Vanderbilt. Ayanna Moore on the wing. It's Moore, Oliver, Makara, Washington, and Cambridge for the Commodores. Makara driving in. Another shot attempt from her. This one also off. Carson Norman with the rebound. Great hustle play and the dish to Strandy. She'll go to Kent. Back to Strandy from behind the line. It won't fall, but Sydney Janes. Second chance effort on the offensive glass. She'll lay it up and be fouled. She'll head to the stripe.
One thing Janes needs to stop doing, when you get the rebound, don't bring it to your chest, because you have 3 Commodores right there on you, especially Jordan Cambridge, who will rip that ball right out of your hands and take it the other way for 2. You need to get it up and keep it high and be alert and look around to try and dish that pass out.
That observation, especially true with tonight, just how we've seen the Vanderbilt style of play. They've gone after absolutely every single pass, every single time that Butler's picked up the ball. Cindy Janes knocks down the first free throw attempt. But certainly Vanderbilt's going to look to do that a lot more here in the fourth quarter.
Parkinson
Janes able to hit this second free throw.
Elects to go his starting 5. And Cambridge actually is going to head to the bench here. Might try and either continue the lead or just try and conserve it, give her some rest. So then in the last 4 or so minutes, she's ready.
Madison Green checking in. We saw a lot of good work out of her in the third quarter on Vanderbilt's end. Along with Jordan Oliver, who just made the pass. This one's off the foot of Washington. Turnover Vanderbilt. Caroline Strandy in transition. Melmans will catch and shoot. This one's in. Jordan Melmans with another 3-pointer, and this one's going to force Vanderbilt to call a timeout. The Dogs are within 3 points. What a comeback that they have made after going down 9 at halftime. We're going to take a quick break, but we will be right back at Hinkle Fieldhouse on Flow Sports, presented by Butler Sports Live.
Fresh, warm hot dogs.
When I'm not selling hot dogs, I invest in a fund that advances innovations like robotics.
Fresh, warm hot dogs straight out of my torso. One for you, one for you. Oh, you're a messy one.
Cool, right? So cool.
Anyone can become an agent of innovation with Invesco QQQ, a fund that gives you access to NASDAQ 100 innovations.
Hot dogs. Fresh farm hot dogs.
Before investing, carefully read and consider fund investment objectives, risk, charges, expenses, and more in prospectus at Invesco.com.
Butler has always stood for excellence in education. But standing for something doesn't mean standing still. It means moving forward with innovative ideas that are transforming how we teach. It means experiential learning and fields that create in-demand graduates. It means cultivating not only minds, but communities. At Butler, we're changing what it means to be a university, one student at a time.
Saturday night, it's Fox Primetime Hoops.
None better than this.
A Dim Bowman and UCLA take on Justin Moore and Villanova. Saturday at 7 Eastern on Fox.
At Team Impact, we pair kids who have been sidelined by serious illness and disability with college teams from across the country. It's more than a single-day meet and greet or photo opportunity. Our program places kids on a multi-year journey, becoming true members of a collegiate athletics team.
1, 2, 3.
From signing day
We'll put this right here.
to game day,
I can't describe it. It feels amazing.
Team Impact. All in, all together.
Heating up in the fourth quarter is Jordan Melmans for the Butler Bulldogs. And as you can see right here, 3-pointers like this will make you the leading scorer tonight for Butler. She has 11 points so far and has willed the Dogs back into this matchup only down by 3 as we have a very exciting game on our hands here for this last 7.5 minutes of play. I'm Ben Buttrick, alongside me, Owen O'Keefe. A very, very competitive game that we are witnessing right now. Both of these programs certainly want it very badly. 8-1 Vanderbilt, 6-2 Butler. And it's crazy that one of these two teams has to lose here tonight. This one off the glass and it won't go. Sydney Janes with the tough rebound there. Here's Ari Wiggins. Butler can tie up the game this possession. Have been down by as much as 9 points. Strandy dishing to Janes. She gets a 3-point opportunity of her own. This one's off, but the second chance effort, Caroline Strandy coming up big on the offensive glass. Wiggins will slow down the pace, letting Butler's offense breathe. Here's Strandy. Looking to find Janes inside. Great defensive play from Sasha Washington. Disrupting the pass and another turnover from Butler. Cambridge back into the game. She'll find Madison Green. Thinks about pulling up from 2 and won't. So Vanderbilt looking to extend this into a 2-possession game, and Cambridge will do just that. 39-34, the Commodores are on top.
Washington read that pass on the other end perfectly. She's seen it so many times. The amount of times she has stopped it, whether it's a tip out of bounds or even just a turnover in itself, has been too many times for them to continue to try it, and especially with that manner.
Inside to Strandy, and they will call a reach. This one's going to go against Madison Green on Caroline Strandy. So Butler's going to get another under the basket play. Big opportunity for them. So Rachel Kent, she will find Sydney Janes. Kent thinks about it from three. She'll hold up. Wiggins working against Cambridge. And this one will be stripped by Cambridge, and it will stay on Butler's side. We've talked about it a few times already, but Jordan Cambridge, her ability to just be able to strip the ball, jump the passing lane, it's so evident just with her steal numbers.
Yeah, the way Vanderbilt's playing defense, you cannot have the ball in your hands too long, especially keep it on the floor, let alone against Jordan Cambridge. So just not a play I could personally agree with from Wiggins right there.
Strandy from downtown, and she hits it. Butler back within 2 off the three-pointer from Caroline Strandy. She's got 12.
Get yourself back in the game. You can't let Vandy continue to bully you in the paint. They have 32 of their 39 from inside.
Vanderbilt still without a three-point make here tonight. 0 of 9 as opposed to Butler 7 for 22. It's been huge for the Dogs. This one's off. Washington can't find the rim, but it will stay on Vanderbilt's end of the court. Pissat checking back in for the Commodores, replacing Madison Green. 2-point game. Coach Austin Parkinson looking on eagerly as he needs his defense to come through here, certainly on this possession. Butler trails by 2. It's been their smallest deficit in quite some time. This one's off. Caroline Strandy fighting for it, and we'll have a jump ball. This one's going Butler's way. So Strandy able to hold firm, and this one will give Butler the opportunity to take the lead for the first time in quite a while.
The more I've seen this Vanderbilt team play tonight, Ben, the more I think I've come to realize maybe it's just the way shooting and Hinkle, not used to it. But this is not a great jump shooting team by any means.
It's been a team that has struggled jump shooting quite some bit here tonight. This one's going to be on Ayanna Moore, picking up her next foul. This one is her second of the night, team's third. As you mentioned, Owen, 17 of 56 from the field, only shooting 30% tonight. Certainly not the number that they wanted to bring into tonight's game. Melmans over in the corner. She'll drive all the way, but what a block from Sasha Washington, sending it into the seats.
Washington coming from the other block, leaving her assignment to make the play. But yeah, Vanderbilt hasn't even they've taken some good shots. A lot of them just haven't fallen. Like 56 shots when a majority of your points come in the paint is insane that they have only scored 39.
Quite the total as Strandy is going to dish there, and they'll call offensive foul. Oliver able to draw it, and Caroline Strandy with another foul. Now she has 4 on the night. She's going to have to play much more careful here in the last 5 minutes.
That wasn't even that aggressive of an offensive foul. She played perfectly. Jordan Oliver for Vandy was just barely outside the restricted area. That's why Strandy went so tough with the take, as she thought she'd have no problem going up.
Pissat driving inside. This one's off the bottom of the backboard. Butler again, another big opportunity for them on this possession. Strandy to Melmans outside. Another 3, but it won't fall. Butler's 3-point weapon, not able to make that one fall. Shooting 3 of 7 from beyond the arc tonight. They're going to call for a pick and roll with Washington. Cambridge not able to find her. Cambridge stuck, guarded by Wiggins. She'll shift to Ayanna Moore. 7 seconds on the shot clock. Ayanna Moore from the elbow. This one's off. Washington, it will stay on Vanderbilt's side of the floor as Washington and Wiggins got into a bit of a tussle there. And this one will lead to a timeout on the floor. 2-point game here at Hinkle Fieldhouse. A lot of more magic to come as you're watching college basketball on Flow Sports, presented by Butler Sports Live.
In the Butler College of Communication, we live to create. As one of Butler's fastest growing colleges, we create the conditions for students to realize their full potential as communicators. Learning expands beyond the classroom, with endless opportunities for students to gain valuable experience in the greater Indianapolis area and across the country. So go on, get behind the camera, step into the speech clinic, or join the newsroom. At Butler's College of Communication, it's not can we do it, it's when do we start.
In the world of athletes, where every move counts, setbacks can feel like a mountain to climb. At Rothman Orthopedics, our team of top-notch orthopedic experts are here to get you back to doing what you love, because we specialize in you. We're not just about recovery, we're about rewriting your story. With specialized physicians and unwavering support, we help you rise above adversity. Rothman Orthopedics, the official orthopedic provider of athletes.
A close game here at Hinkle Fieldhouse tonight. Butler in the two-game homestand opener just trails Vanderbilt by 2. They're going to host Chicago State on Sunday, but certainly that's on the mind of nobody right now. They want to get the job done against this 8-1 Vanderbilt team. Back and forth we have gone here in the fourth quarter, both teams exchanging buckets. Ben Buttrick alongside Owen O'Keefe for another exciting 4.5 minutes of basketball to close out this game. Washington will find Madison Green. She'll put up another look, and off the front of the rim, it rolls in. Madison Green with another bucket, her 4th point tonight. Here's Strandy. Kent will find Melmans. Thinks about it from behind the arc. Will go to Janes. Caroline Strandy gets the ball, playing with 4 fouls. Finds Jane. Shot clock winding down to 6. Jordan Melmans, little shake there, not able to find anything, and they will wave this off. I believe a timeout called on the floor by Austin Parkinson. We'll stay here. But Owen, just as we were looking up and down the stats that we've been handed by Kit Stetzel, amazing communications for men's and women's basketball here at Butler University, we've just seen some crazy stats here tonight. Rachel Kent has played every single second of this game besides 34 seconds. She's been the go-to for Butler all night long. Obviously, not only on the offensive end, but on the defensive end, she has certainly made her impact felt.
Yeah, I think if if Strandy wasn't in foul trouble, she'd be right at that same alley with Kent. But the biggest thing, again, for Butler has been your 22 turnovers against this team, and also allowing 20 offensive rebounds, and in turn allowing 11 second chance points. Those are difference makers down the stretch, and we're seeing it right now.
Things that can change the pace of the game, but Rachel Kent just not able to get that off in time. A good design play, but it won't work. Rachel Kent, the leader in assists here tonight for Butler.
I think the main option was James just to go up with it. She had the look. She just completely looked to pass it off to her teammate, which in turn led to the 5th shot clock violation forced by the Commodores.
Number that you don't see too often, as this Vanderbilt team has locked up for all of the seconds on the shot clock many times. Madison Green, another layup for her. She is on a 4-0 scoring run herself.
Back-to-back possessions, she beat Arg Wiggins' back door.
And Cambridge with the steal. Sydney Janes lapses for 1 second, and that's enough for the 6th-year college basketball player to pick up another steal. her 4th of the night. Just under 3 minutes to play. Vanderbilt leads by 6. Sasha Washington from the free throw stripe knocks it down, and Vanderbilt putting together a little bit of a run here. Butler's on a 3.5-minute scoring drought, and this is going to cause Austin Parkinson to call a timeout.
Yeah, that is not how you want to come looking out of a break.
Certainly a tough break for the Bulldogs. They'll look to turn things around here shortly. You're watching college basketball on Flow Sports, presented by Butler Sports Live.
Saturday night, the biggest game is on Fox Primetime Hoops. The Pac-12 and Big East collide as two of the nation's iconic programs square off. None better than this. A Dimbola leads UCLA in an early season statement game as they look to take down Justin Moore and Villanova. With the pound down. Saturday at 7 Eastern on Fox.
The biggest games are on Fox Primetime Hoops.
Fresh, warm hot dogs. When I'm not selling hot dogs, I invest in a fund that advances innovations like robotics.
Fresh, warm hot dogs straight out of my torso. One for you, one for you. Oh, you're a messy one.
Cool, right? So cool.
Anyone can become an agent of innovation with Invesco QQQ, a fund that gives you access to NASDAQ 100 innovations.
Hot dogs. Fresh farm hot dogs.
Before investing, carefully read and consider fund investment objectives, risk, charges, expenses, and more in prospectus at Invesco.com.
A 6-0 scoring run from the Vanderbilt Commodores will bring them up 8 now on Butler with time winding down in this game. Ben Buttrick alongside Owen O'Keefe as Butler has a ways to work back into this game. Certainly the offense has looked good at times this quarter. Rachel Kent is going to be trapped by Ayanna Moore. Strandy trying to generate something on the offensive end. Rachel Kent going to be left open. She's trying to knock down the three, but won't. Her shooting struggles continue tonight.
Yeah, she has not actually found the bottom of the basket at all tonight. 0 for 6 from 3. The only field goal she has attempted. Has not gotten a clean look inside.
Now Oliver dishing to Ayanna Moore. Here's Jordan Cambridge. Vanderbilt swinging the ball around. Oliver going to work in the post, finding the cutting Madison Green. Another basket from her. A part of this 8-0 scoring run. She has 6 of the points.
Yeah, she has not been able to be guarded by Ari Wiggins for the first 4. And then she beats Norman through a cut through the middle.
Kent from the elbow breaks the scoring drought on her night. So Rachel Kent able to get it going on the offensive end. Butler still down 8. Just under a minute and a half left to play here at Hinkle. Still a few possession game. Butler down, certainly not out. Cambridge is going to let the shot clock wind down. 10 seconds. Washington with the pick. Cambridge is going to lose the handle. It goes to Ayanna Moore. 5 seconds. Oliver finding the cutting Madison Green with another backdoor layup. Madison Green, 8 of the 10 points on this scoring run. What a substitution from Coach Shea Ralph to elect to put her on the ground instead of one of your starters.
Yeah, it's completely that one right there. Not to knock the freshman. That was Norman's fault. She came in too late, which allowed. She came in trying to help Strandy. The help was not needed, which left Green wide open in the corner. Strandy was coming a little too high, which left that backdoor lane for Green with ease to put it up 2. Now you're down 10 with just under a minute to go. And the problem here, Ben, is the fact that Butler has been slow played by Vandy this whole time, and Butler's offense has been very, very, very slow paced. So the issues you have here is how are you going to score 10 points and how are you going to allow Vandy to run the clock out in 2 possessions? They can very easily do that.
So Vanderbilt less than a minute away from handing Butler their first loss at home here this season. Butler's certainly going to need points and fast. Kent will find Melmans. She'll go from 3 to start. This one's off the rim. Rebound, Sasha Washington. A win all that more likely for Vanderbilt now. Cambridge inside. Nice dribble where she's able to fall down but keep the possession alive. Game clock at 40. Vanderbilt putting up the shot. It's Cambridge. This one's off. Another offensive rebound. And this one getting out of reach for Butler. Ayanna Moore's going to head to the stripe.
Just that 2 team fouls, so she's going to.
And it will be off to the side. Thank you. And another foul will be used by Butler, so they're going to exercise the rest of their fouls to keep this game alive.
I mean, I don't hate it, but personally, I would say the score already that we see them down 10 is speaking more than what actually happened on the court today. We know this game was much closer than 10, let alone what the more you're going to tack on. Let Vandy break 50 at the end of it. In my opinion, you let it play.
And it was one scoring run that was really the difference here late in this game. It was 39-37 at one point with Butler trailing. And your score stands 49-39 as going to the free throw stripe, shooting 2, will be Jordan Cambridge.
Cambridge a perfect 3 for 3 from the charity stripe tonight.
Butler's going to need a free throw miss from Cambridge on the next possession to be able to even have a shot in this one. Game winding down. As you mentioned, Owen, this one certainly back and forth, much closer than the score led on. Seems like Butler's going to fall just short for the first time in front of the Hinkle fan base here tonight. Sasha Washington, offensive rebound, and that is really just going to be the cherry on top for Vanderbilt tonight. 22 offensive rebounds. Just the inability to box out tonight from Austin Parkinson's squad, certainly something to keep in mind going forward ahead towards Chicago State.
Yeah, it's just the story of tonight right there. Like you said, the cherry on top, allowing another offensive rebound to this Vanderbilt team and the make free throw. It's just not what you want to see if you're Parkinson. I mean, now you know, especially when you go against these higher recruiting tier teams, what you need to do. They're going to have bigger girls. They're going to have stronger athletic girls. So you need to know how you're going to box out and give yourself the extra opportunities that you're going to lack in other areas.
And this one will be an offensive foul on Sasha Washington, so it will not be an offensive rebound. They're going to take a quick break on the floor. We're going to stay here. We've seen so much good play on both ends of the floor. A lot of turnovers, as we mentioned, but those were forced by a really just competitive defense. A lot of traps on Vanderbilt's end. Same on Butler's end. Shooting, you'd have to give to Butler tonight. They shot 7 of 25 from 3. Vanderbilt 0 of 9. So while the free throw percentage, 3-point percentage wasn't great from Butler, they still had 7 makes. So something that you can bring forward into the next game. However, they're certainly going to want to tighten up their defensive efforts, especially on the rebounding glass.
You need to tighten up how you close a game. This game 4 minutes ago, Ben, was 39-37. Now 4 minutes later, you're down 12. You give up a 12-2 run. Vandy's made 5 of their last 6. You're going to try and make this game a little pretty on the box score end with these last few possessions. Let alone that at the end of the day, it's not going to change anything. You crumbled when you needed to, when you shouldn't have. And you lost a game that was very much in your hands. But I didn't hate what I saw of the Dogs. Both sides held to their lowest scoring efforts this season. So if you're Butler, you're holding a Vandy team that the lowest they scored in the season is 62 against the 5th-ranked team in the country. Hold your heads high to that. You also held their leading scorer, one of their best scorers, Jordan Cambridge, to just 7 points. So 12 points, excuse me. So she did not have that good of a night as you could have. So for your Butler, you cannot be upset for what you held this team to. But then again, the amount of turnovers you gave up, 24 to be the exact number, which for the Wild throughout the first half, you had more turnovers than points scored. So looking forward for Austin Parkinson, you got a sort of a lighter game with Chicago State coming up on Sunday. But then going right after that, you get a week off as kids got to take finals. There are students as well, Ben. You got to go in and you need to try and improve on what you lacked today against UConn.
So certainly few things to take out of this game for Butler moving forward. They're going to host Chicago State on the back end of this 2-game homestand, while Vanderbilt will move forward with a 2-game homestand of their own against Lipscomb, actually a 4-game homestand rather. Lipscomb, Dayton, Fairleigh Dickinson, and Radford will be the final 4 games to close out December for Vanderbilt. Great win tonight for the Commodores, handing Butler their first loss at home this season. Butler will look to try and bounce back here on Flow Sports this Sunday. On behalf of our entire Butler Sports Live crew, alongside Owen O'Keefe, I'm Ben Buttrick. Thank you all so much for tuning in tonight on Flow Sports, presented by Butler Sports Live.
Beat.